Now let us discuss a word problem which is based on currency, and we have to find the value for the given number of coins. Nirvan collects leftover change in his piggy bank. The ratio of the number of quarters, dimes, and nickels in his piggy bank is 7 is to 3 is to 2. If the total value of the quarters and dimes is $10 25 cents, what is the total value of money in the piggy bank? Perfect. So we are given the ratio of quarters, dimes, and nickels. So let's write down variables to represent them. So we say quarters, let it be Q, dimes, D, and nickels, N. They are in the ratio of 7 to 3 is to 2. So the ratio is 7 is to 3 is to 2. So that means if there are 7 quarters, then there are 3 dimes and 2 nickels. But if there are 14 quarters twice, then number of dimes will be 6 and the nickels will be twice 2, 4. So if there are x, because we really don't know how many quarters are there, so if there are x number of quarters, then there will be 3x dimes and 2x nickels. So that is how we form an equation. And in this particular case, since it is a proportion type of a thing, we are saying x is a scale factor, right? So I hope that part is clear. Now we are given one more condition there, and that is if the total value of the quarters and dimes is $10.25. So that means if you combine this, the value of this is $10.25. What does that mean? Well, quarters, as you know, quarter of a dollar is 25 cents. So this could be written as, because the amount is in dollars, we'll write it in dollars, 0.25 is the value, right? So in dollars, that is the value. As far as dimes are concerned, 10 cents, or in dollars, it will be 0.10. For nickel, 5 cents, right? So in dollars, it will be 0.05. Now, if there are 7x quarters, that really means what is the value? Let's write down the value of quarters and nickels now, since that is given to us, right? So, as far as the value is concerned, 7x is the number and the value of each is quarter or 25 cents. This will be added to 3x times 0.10 dimes, and all this should be equal to 10.25, right? So that is 10.25. Now in this equation, as you can see, x is the only unknown and we can definitely find it. So if I take x common, then what is left? 7 times 0.25, right? 7 times 5 is 35. 3, 7 times 2 is 14. So, and 3 is 17. So 1.75 plus 3 times zero point 0.1 is easy, 0.30. And all this should give me $10.25. Makes sense. So this means x times what? If I add this, I get 3 and 7 when I add, I get 1 carry, right? So 2.05 equals to 10.25. And therefore, the value of x will be 10.25 divided by 2.05. To find this value, we can definitely use a calculator. That is one way of doing it. The other way, of course, is that x is a natural number, right? Number of coins, correct. So we could estimate, right? So 2 goes 5 times into 10. Does it work? Yes, it does, right? So we can just say, we can see that it is x is 5. You can use calculator. 10.25 divided by 2.05 will give you 5. So now we know that there are The scale factor x is 5, right? So x is 5 means the number of quarters will be how many? 7 times 5. You get the whole idea. And dimes will be 3 times 5, correct? And nickels will be 2 times 5. So now we know all the number of coins. By the way, we also know what is the value of quarters and dimes. To find the total value, we only need to add the value for the nickels which just we found, right? So there are 10 nickels. So the value of 10 nickels will be added to 10.25 to get our answer. So I hope you have understood, right? But anyway, let's go on to the next page to finish it off. So what we found here is that the ratio of quarters, dimes, and nickels was given to us as 732. We assume that it could be x factor, right? And by solving 7x plus 3x equals to 10.25, we found that x is 5. Correct. So for x value of 5, we basically need to add the value of nickels, right? So nickel is 5 cents, right? So the value of nickels will be 2 times 5 times 0.05, right? So this is the value of nickels, correct? The dollar value of nickels, I should write. Is that clear to you, right? So this is equal to 10 times 0.05 or 50 cents. So the contribution of nickels will be 50 cents to already we know 10.25. So total amount is how much? So total amount is 10.25 plus 0.50, right? So it is equal to, in dollars, $10.75. You see that? So that is how we are going to find the answer of this particular question. A beautiful question where we are trying to understand how do we find the value by knowing the numbers. And numbers also we figure out using proportions. I hope you find this interesting and useful. Feel free to like and subscribe to my videos. If you want to write down some comments, suggestions, you're most welcome. Thanks for your valuable time and all the best.